Well, hello and welcome to the Movie Paradise Show. I'm your host, Nathanael Molnár, and this is the weekly live show that we do here on the Movie Paradise. Every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live talking about all the things going on in the world of film, as well as taking live questions from you guys watching live. So, today's not that big of a day. Not really. No, it's just kind of an average, usual day here in the world of film. Oh, wait, nope. Sorry, I forgot. I'm lying. Tonight is the Oscars. The biggest night of the year. Sorry, one second. The biggest night of the year for film fans. And it's a big one. I love the Oscars. The Oscars are my favorite time of... one of my favorite times of the year every year. There's Christmas. There's a few other holidays, but... and I'm not saying the Oscars is a holiday, but to me it is. For us film fans, this is our Super Bowl. And I love getting into Oscars season. I love following the nominations. And I especially love watching the show. And so all today's show is going to be is I'm going to be talking about what I think is going to win tonight. And just talking about the show in general. I am going to probably have to cut this show short a little bit. Just because I have people coming over for the Oscars. And I still have to make some food. So I am going to cut it a little bit short today, but here, let me go over and check what is going on in the chat board. So after I talk about my picks for the nominations and everything, I'll turn it over to the chat board to see what it is you guys are saying. So, all right. Sorry, 1 second. Whoa. Hey. There we go. Let's talk about some Oscars. So, first one up. Let's start with the big one. Best Picture. Now, this is one I feel like could go any which way. I feel like Roma could certainly take it. I feel like, and I'm going with my pick, Green Book, I think is going to end up winning Best Picture. I would not be shocked the Roma one. I would not be shocked the Black Panther one. I think there are a few strong contenders in this race. But Green Book, I think, is the one that's ultimately going to win. It won the PGA award, and I believe I read something like 40 of the last 41 PGA winners have gone on to win Best Picture, so you do the math. So I'm not going to be shocked if Roma wins. I'm not going to be shocked if Black Panther wins. But yeah, Green Book's my pick. Best Actress. I'm going to go with Glenn Close for The Wife. For a while, I would have said Lady Gaga for Star is Born, but she hasn't really been winning in any of the other categories. Glenn Close is the one who has been winning, so I'm going to go with Glenn Close. I think she might take home Best Actress. Best Actor. This one could go in a few different ways. Obviously, I think Bradley Cooper is most deserving of this award, in my opinion. I think right now it's between Rami Malek and Christian Bale. I personally wouldn't give it to Rami Malek. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is the most overrated film of this year, but that's just my opinion. But that's not to say Rami Malek wasn't great in the film. I just wouldn't have nominated him for Best Lead Actor. I wouldn't have nominated the film for any of its nominations. But I feel like my ultimate pick for who I think is going to win, I think it's going to be Rami Malek. He's been winning the Screen Guild Awards. He's been winning a whole bunch of other ones. I'm not going to be shocked if Christian Bale takes it. I wouldn't even really be shocked if Vigo took it, but I think it's going to ultimately be Rami. Best Supporting Actress. I'm going to go with Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. I really don't see any of the other ones having a strong chance of winning, but I think Regina King has been sweeping up this award season. I think she's going to take it. And then Best Supporting Actor, I'm going with Mahershala Ali. Excuse me. For Green Book. I'm not going to be shocked if Sam Elliott wins, though. He's been winning a lot of other awards for Best Supporting Actor. I will not be shocked if Sam Elliott wins. But my safe bet, my money is going on Mahershala Ali. I think he's ultimately going to be the one who wins the award. And then closing off the big categories is Best Director, which I think is pretty much a no-brainer with Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. That might change, though, because usually what we've seen happen in years past, not always, we didn't see it last year with Shape of Water, but what we have seen in years past is usually you go into the award season with two big front runners. One of them ends up winning Best Director, and the other one wins Best Picture. Again, that doesn't always happen. Just last year, Guillermo del Toro won Best Director for Shape of Water, and Shape of Water also won Best Picture. So very well, Roma could win Best Director and Best Picture. But I think our biggest indication of who's going to win Best Picture is going to be dependent upon director. Because if Alfonso Cuarón does not win for Best Director and say, well, actually, Green Book isn't nominated for Best Director, Black Panther isn't nominated for Best Director, those are the two ones I would put to go that were in the same league of winning Best Picture as Roma. And then the next up would be Stars Born. That's not nominated for Best Director either. So there goes that theory. I'd say if Cuarón does not win for Best Director, I don't know who it would be, maybe Spike Lee for BlacKkKlansman, then I think it's pretty much a safe bet to say that Roma's going to go on to win Best Picture. But we'll have to wait and see. I still think it's going to be Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and then Roma could still win Best Picture, but I think it's ultimately going to go to Green Book. Alright, so I got my sheets here. Moving right along. Best Screenplay. I'm going with First Reformed. I know that's a film that a lot of people, especially people in the Academy, loved. It just didn't get any of the nominations. This is its only nomination, and I think it'll take it. I think it'll take it. If maybe Roma, I feel like Roma's the only other one that I feel like could end up taking it. But I don't think the writing for Roma was its strongest thing. I think it was the direction and the cinematography and all those elements about it. I don't think the screenplay was necessarily the strongest part of Roma, but so I'm going to go with First Reformed. But I would not be shocked if Roma won it. Best Adapted Screenplay, I'm going with BlacKkKlansman. I don't think BlacKkKlansman's going to get a ton of wins tonight, but I think Best Adapted Screenplay is one of them. I mean, maybe A Star is Born, because I think the only thing A Star is Born is going to take home is probably Best Original Song. Other than that, I don't think it's going to take anything else. So maybe it goes to A Star is Born, but I'm going to ultimately go BlacKkKlansman. I do have to say, I'm surprised Black Panther wasn't nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay. But regardless, Best Cinematography, I think this one's easily Roma. I mean, maybe A Star is Born, maybe Cold War, but I think it will be Roma. I think that's a pretty safe bet. Best Animated Film, I think this one's the biggest lock of the night. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Let me tell you, if something else wins, I am going to be absolutely shocked. You know, that's how much of a lock I believe Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is for Best Animated Film. But who knows? Maybe Mariah's going to win. Best Animated Short Film. So now that when we get into these, Best Animated Short Film, Best Live Action Short Film, Best Foreign Film. Well, that one aside, because I think that one's a lock. Best Documentary. And is there another one? Best Documentary Short Subject. With those ones, I have not seen most of those movies. And when I do my Oscar predictions, I make it a rule for myself that I don't look at I don't go to the Hollywood Reporter and see what did they pick as their predictions to win those. Because for me, that would be cheating, since I don't know what they would be. So I just went off of what I thought I had heard referenced before, or whatever stood out. So these aren't really predictions as much as just what I think might have a chance of winning. So Best Animated Short Film, I went Late Afternoon. Best Live Action Short Film, I went Skin. I think Roma's going to win Best Foreign Film. I think that one's pretty much set. Best Documentary, I went with Free Solo. RBG might win, but I feel like I've heard Free Solo talked about a lot more, and so that's ultimately my pick. And then Best Documentary Short Subject, I went A Night at the Garden. Again, no true rhyme or reason for those, just what stood out. Production Design, this is where I think Black Panther is going to win one. Black Panther is going to win Best Production Design. And I think, was it nominated for Costume? Yes. So I picked it for production and costume design. And overall, I think those were really big categories that it did really well in. It had great costume design. It had great production design. Those were two of the film's strongest suits. And so I think it's going to take those. Best production design. Best film editing, I'm going with BlacKkKlansman. I think Vice might take it. Bohemian Rhapsody could take it. I think it's going to be BlacKkKlansman, though. The editing in that film is really good. And honestly, what makes the movie, for me at least, is an editing choice made at the very end of the film. Honestly, I think that editing decision at the end alone is probably what will win at best editing. But who knows? Bohemian Rhapsody could take it. Vice could take it. We'll have to wait and see. Best sound editing, I'm going with A Quiet Place. This might be one where it screws me up because it's what I hope wins as opposed to what will win. I just want A Quiet Place to win something, you know? It should have been... Emily Blunt should have been nominated. John Krasinski should have been nominated for directing. And frankly, I think it should have been nominated for screenplay and Best Picture. It didn't get any of those. It got the one nomination with Best Sound Editing. Can we please have A Quiet Place win one Academy Award? Is that too much to ask? I don't think it is. So who knows? Maybe I'm being too hopeful. Maybe I'm being naive. But I'm picking A Quiet Place for Best Sound Editing. Sound Mixing, I'm going with First Man. That's one that's not going to win any others this Academy Awards, and I think this is how they honor that film. Best Original Score, I think it's going to be Black Panther. I mean, any of these could end up winning, but I think it's going to be Black Panther. Best Original Song, I think that one's also a lock. It's Shallow from A Star Is Born. Costume Design, I already said I think it's going to be Black Panther. Best Visual Effects, I mean, could it be one of the other ones? Sure, but I think it's pretty safe to say that it's Infinity War. And then hair and makeup, I think that one's Vice pretty easily. So just to round off what I think is going to win again. Best Picture, I'm saying Green Book. Best Lead Actress is Glenn Close for The Wife. Best Actor is Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody. Best Supporting Actress is Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk. Best Supporting Actor is Mahershala Ali for Green Book. Best Director is Alfonso Cuarón for Roma. Excuse me. Best Original Screenplay is First Reformed. Best Adapted Screenplay, Black Klansman. Best Cinematography, Roma. Best Animated Film, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Best Animated Short Film, Late Afternoon. Best Live Action Short Film, Skin. Best Foreign Language Film, Roma. Best Documentary Feature, Free Solo. Best Documentary Short Subject, The Night at the Garden. Best Production Design, Black Panther. Best Film Editing, Black Klansman. Best Sound Editing, A Quiet Place. Best Sound Mixing, First Man. Best Original Score, Black Panther. Best Original Song, Shallow from A Star Is Born. Best Costume Design, Black Panther. Best Visual Effects, Avengers Infinity War. And Best Hair Makeup, or Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Vice. So, those are my picks. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very interesting Oscars. I feel like usually when I go into Oscar season, I know and I'm fairly certain on pretty much every pick that I have. This year, and especially in a lot of the big categories, I have some doubts. Like, I'm picking Green Book for Best Picture, but I think there's like 3 or 4 films that could genuinely win. And Best Lead Actor, Best Lead Actress, Supporting Actor, not as much Supporting Actress. I think these are ones that I have my pick, but I could totally see it going a different way. So it's really shaping up to be an interesting Oscar season. I think the show's going to be interesting, especially we have no host. We have, you know, all these different controversies or whatnot that's been surrounding this show. I'm interested just to see it and to see what they put on. So, with all that out of the way, I'm going to take a look at the live chat and see what we're talking about. We're joined by Rob. Thanks, Rob, for being here. Take off that shirt. Who do you think you are? Well, I figured the Oscars is a very special night. I treat it as such. I didn't feel right just putting on a regular sweatshirt like I normally do, so I was like, hey, I'm going to put on my nice t-shirt because this is the nicest I can possibly dress. I can't dress any nicer than this. Oscars blow unless the movies I want to see win. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who feel that. Obviously, I know you don't feel that way, but I know a lot of people actually do feel that way, which is funny to me. It's funny to like, it's rigged, or, you know, it got, what's the word? Snubbed. Something I loved got snubbed. Well, maybe it just actually wasn't deserving of... Why wasn't Avengers Infinity War nominated for Best Picture? Because it wasn't one of the best of the year, you know? A lot of people who only see like 2 or 3 movies a year, who go and see Solo, A Star Wars Story, Avengers Infinity War, and Venom, and they're like, where's the Venom representation? Really? Alright. You criticized... Alright, good one. You criticized the Oscars for wanting to cut their show down when you're doing the exact same damn thing. Yes. Rob Giganta. Rami Malek was excellent. He was good. He was definitely really good. Really good. I just wish the movie around him was stronger, and if the movie around him was stronger, then I think his performance would have been even stronger. One of the first things I said when I saw the movie was, Rami Malek is great in it, but I can't help but think about how good he could have been even more so had the movie been better and had he had a better support system around him and he'd been given a chance to even go even further. If he wins an Academy Award tonight for the performance he gave in that one, I can't even imagine like how deserving and how incredible that performance would be if the movie itself was even better and that support system that helps him give that performance was stronger. He could have gone even further. So, Bale's performance was pretty much just all makeup. Didn't find him to be that good. I'll completely disagree with you. Was there makeup? Yes, absolutely. But I don't think it's any more of... With that logic, you could say the same thing about Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour. Oh, well, that's just all makeup. Well, no, because it doesn't matter how much makeup you have on. You still have to create the character, and you still have to sell the character. And it's not just all makeup, because Bale put on... He put in the time. He put on the weight. He got there to a certain point in order to pull off the character. And yes, was there a lot of makeup to help him do it? Absolutely, and that's why I think they're going to win for best hair, makeup, and all that stuff. I think they'll win for that because of what they did with him and a lot of the other characters, but a lot of that is Bale. Otherwise, you would have just had Christian Bale walking around looking like an old fat guy. You know? Like, you wouldn't have a character. You would just have Christian Bale walking around. He created the character. He convinced you that he was Dick Cheney, whether you like the movie or not. So... would I pick him to win? No. No, I wouldn't. But I think it's a disservice to Bale's performance to say that it's all makeup. Well, you could say the same thing about Gary Oldman for Darkest Hour, and I thought Gary Oldman absolutely deserved to win, and I thought he was by far the best male performance of that year. I don't agree about that necessarily with Bale, but I think it's a disservice to Bale to say that it's all makeup. Ali might have been the best performance of the year. No... supporting, you can make the argument. Overall performance, no. No, I would completely disagree. I think Vigo is better than Mahershala Ali. Sam Elliott was a glorified cameo. Don't at me. No, I won't disagree with you. I still think he gave a phenomenal performance. You could say the same thing about Anne Hathaway in Les Miserables. Oh, well, she was barely in the movie. Yeah, but her performance was that good. That's why she won that award. I don't think Sam Elliott should win necessarily. I don't know if I even personally would have nominated him. But yeah, I don't disagree with you saying that it's a glorified cameo. But I think the talks of him being nominated and everything are still legitimate, because I think that's just a testament to how great his performance was. Rob Jaginta, Corona's a lock. Yeah, well, yes. I say that's a lock, but like I said, we have seen before where... if they want to give a movie a Best Picture, sometimes they'll give the competition Best Director instead. Now, none of the ones that I think are right under Roma, or around Roma, I think Green Book, Black Panther, and A Star is Born are the next ones up, I think, around Roma. I think if it's not Roma, it's one of those three. And neither of those three are nominated for Best Director. So, I think if a different director wins than Cuarón, I think it's a very safe bet to say then that Roma's going to win Best Picture. But I think otherwise, I think Cuarón is pretty much a lock. First Reformed will not win. Your crazy Green Book's got it in the bag. I don't think it's in the bag, friend. I don't think it's in the bag. I think First Reformed has a very strong shot. But we'll have to wait and see. Never saw Roma, never will. Roma's good. I like Roma. I don't like it as much as everyone else does, nor would I make it an Oscars front runner in my opinion. But it's a good movie. I think it's worth checking out. I'm telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if Incredibles won just because Pixar wins. Nope. Spider-Verse. It's Spider-Verse. You didn't see any of the best documentary shorts. You hack. I am a hack. Skin is being made into a movie with Jamie Bell. Well, it already is a movie. What you mean is it's being made into a feature-length film with Jamie Bell, which is interesting. I'll check that one out. I think RBG could pull out an upset, I think you probably mean. Yeah, I would agree. I'm going with Free Solo. I'm not going to be shocked if RBG wins. I'm not. I think Ruth Bader Ginsburg is a very popular person in our pop culture right now. A lot of people know who she is. And I think she has a really great backstory that made for a really inspiring and interesting documentary, which unfortunately I really wanted to see, but I didn't have a chance to. I will at some point check that out. I think RBG could definitely pull it out. But I'm going with Free Solo just because I've heard more people talking about it, and so that's kind of, for a category like that, that's my basis. I think the favorite is getting production and costume designs. It could. I don't think the production and costume design is better than in Black Panther. Frankly, I think it's better in Black Panther. And I think unless they do like production for one and costume for another, one of those films is going to be getting nominations, and one of them is just not going to get any nominations. So unless if the favorite wins like Best Supporting Actress or Best Lead Actress, which I don't think it will. So I think of those two movies, Black Panther and The Favorite, I think the Academy is more likely to just give the awards to Black Panther and leave The Favorite without any wins than the other way around. But who knows? Who knows? We could wait and see. I think the Black Panther is a Oscars favorite right now, even if it doesn't necessarily pull out Best Picture. But we'll have to wait and see. Oh, sorry, I lost my spot. Yes, I lost my spot. I thought the editing in BlacKkKlansman was bad, to be honest. Vice has it, I think, but I thought the editing was bad too. I think the editing is great in both films. I think BlacKkKlansman's ultimately going to take it, but Vice, I wouldn't be shocked if Vice took it too. You're being naive. A Quiet Place won't win shit. Yeah, well, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. I think there's a lot of Quiet Place lovers out there. Maybe there's enough for it to win that one award. Beale Street gets the score. It could. Or I've heard a lot of people talk about how much they love the Black Panther score, so I think that's one that could take. Bayo will be the animated short winner, played before Incredibles. Oh, was that one? Yeah, that's probably right then. I forgot that's what that one was. That was a great film, or a great short. No host. Gonna be a great show tonight. I'd rather a host, but I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. Maybe having no host is a complete disaster and it ruins the show, or maybe it ends up working out really well. We'll have to wait and see. I would have preferred a host, but who knows? Maybe we watch it tonight and I watch it and I see, hey, without a host, it works really well. It still flows. It works great. Then I'm all on board. But it's all about the execution. I saw you buy that shirt at Goodwill. Don't lie to me. Actually, it's Kohl's. It's a Kohl's shirt, not Goodwill. The fact that Smallfoot didn't get a Best Picture nom is disturbing. Took the kids. They loved it.